Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week Wisdom and Legacy Building podcast. This is day 476 of our trek, and today is Wisdom Wednesday. Every Wednesday along Life's Trail, we will dig for the nuggets of wisdom that are found in the book of Proverbs. Today, we'll explore the first half of chapter 23. We are broadcasting from our studio at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. During the month of November, as Thanksgiving approaches, it is a time to reflect on all the blessings that we have in our lives. We do have so much to be thankful for. While I think that it is important that we set aside a day in the U.S. and many other countries focusing on being thankful, it should be part of our everyday life. If it is currently not a habit of yours, I would encourage you to set a time aside each morning as you wake and again before you go to sleep to pause and reflect with gratitude on all the blessings that you have in your life. Even when life is difficult, and it is for all of us at times, there are still many things which we can be thankful for. With a heart of gratitude, let us break camp for today and head out on our trek as we explore the nuggets of wisdom which are found in the first half of Proverbs 23. We are currently in the third section of Proverbs, which covers 30 sayings of the wise. We explored the first 5 sayings last week, and today we'll continue with 8 more sayings. And one of those sayings is, don't wear yourself out trying to get rich. Let's begin with verse 1 through 3 of chapter 23. While dining with a ruler, pay attention to what is put before you. If you are a big eater, put a knife to your throat. Don't desire all the delicacies, for he might be trying to trick you. While we may not have a lot of opportunities to dine with people who are in positions of authority, this applies to any formal social gathering where you are invited as a guest. If you enjoy eating, as many people do, be careful with how much you're going to eat. Don't gorge yourself or come off as gluttonous. Even if the food seems irresistible, show constraint and eat in moderation. This may be a test to see how you react in these formal situations. Verses 4 and 5. Don't wear yourself out trying to get rich. Be wise enough to know when to quit. In a blink of an eye, wealth disappears, for it will sprout wings and fly away like an eagle. This is one of those passages that hits a bit too close to home for me. I enjoy the work that I do, and I am driven to accomplishing as much as I can, and then some. This does not give me permission to ignore these principles that are clearly presented in these verses. We all need to show restraint in our pursuit of wealth. Even if you are driven to obtain riches, this is never an excuse to abuse yourself physically, emotionally, or spiritually to obtain that wealth. Wealth is so fleeting. If you are persistent, you can obtain wealth, but realize that it is so easily lost, sometimes by situations completely out of your control. We all need to be wise enough to take time for the most important aspects of life, which is not riches, but relationships. Verses 6 through 8. Don't eat with people who are stingy and don't desire their delicacies. They are always thinking about how much it costs. Eat and drink, they may say, but they don't mean it. You will throw up the little that you've eaten and your compliments will be wasted. Who we invest time with is important. The lesson in this passage refers to eating with someone that really doesn't have a giving heart. This person might invite you to dinner to be socially polite or to look good in the eyes of others. This is the type of person who really doesn't have a heart for hospitality because they consider it a cost instead of an investment in a relationship. If you find yourself being invited in these situations, it may be best that you turn down the invitation if you know in advance that this is the situation. If you do not realize in advance, once you are in a situation, you can be kind and polite, but restrain yourself from eating too much. It would be better to eat less than risk becoming ill from eating too much. The stingy person will just think it is money wasted on you, and it will impact what friendship you may have already established. Verse number 9. Don't waste your breath on fools, for they will despise the wisest advice. This verse also refers to relationship issues. Although we should be kind to everyone, there are some people that think they are so wise when they are actually fools. These people do not desire to learn or gain wisdom. It is better to save your instruction for those who are willing and able to accept it. Verse number 10 and 11. Don't cheat your neighbor by moving in ancient boundary markers, and don't take the land of defenseless orphans, for their Redeemer is strong. He himself will bring their charges against you. This is very similar to a verse from last week. We are to have integrity and honor all agreements, even if they're set up by others which were passed on to us. We should never take advantage of those who are unable to defend for themselves. If we make it a practice of taking advantage of others to advance ourselves, then we will suffer the consequences of our action. God will redeem them for the injustices that are committed against them. Verse number 12. Commit yourself to instruction. Listen carefully to the words of knowledge. Mentioned throughout the book of Proverbs is the need to seek for instruction and wisdom. We are to seek for it with more fervor than we would seek for gold or silver. How much do you desire to obtain instruction and knowledge? Verse number 13 and 14. Don't fail to discipline your children. The rod of punishment won't kill them. Physical discipline may very well save them from death. These verses in no way condone unjust or abusive punishment for children, but all children need to be disciplined throughout the years that you are responsible for them. Each child is uniquely different, and so should the discipline that is administered to them. Some children will learn through words, while others may need more firm discipline. Adults also need guidelines and laws that we must follow. Base all discipline on God's Word. Realize that to raise disciples for Christ, that discipline will be required. And verse number 15 and 16. My child, if your heart is wise, my own heart will rejoice. Everything in me will celebrate when you speak what is right. Tied to the previous verses, Solomon refers to the readers of this passage as his children, which includes us. As you discipline your children and they gain wisdom, your heart will rejoice. As they grow to become mature, responsible adults, you can celebrate with them with the wise choices that they make in their life. Remember, you're not raising children, you're molding them into responsible adults. Today we explored 8 wise sayings, which you can learn much from. Next Wisdom Wednesday, we will continue on our trail of the sayings of the wise. The Proverbs continue to provide us with more wisdom, insight, and understanding. Regardless of where you are on your faith walk, if these precepts and Proverbs are followed, your life will become rich and satisfying. Take them and plant them in your heart so that you'll reap a harvest of wisdom. Tomorrow we will hike another short trail of Wisdom Unplugged, where we will discover an inspirational wisdom quote. So encourage your friends and family to join us and to come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. That will finish our trek for today. Just as you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, we ask you to help us to grow Wisdom Trek by sharing it with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person when you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us each day. I would challenge you today to take just one of the precepts that we learned in Proverbs today and commit yourself to applying it to your life. The journal for today's trek is available at wisdom-trek.com. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and to create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.